Glory to God, welcome into the channel. My name is Raul, this is Lifted Noise. Today I'm looking at creating some instrument programs in the MPC 1000 with JJ OS2XL. So the JJ OS is a third-party operating system that provided a lot more functionality than the stock operating system that Akai shipped the MPC 1000 with and the 2500. Instrument programs are just kind of like key group programs in the new modern new gen MPCs that we see today. So we get a lot of power in this. So let's take a look at this feature. Come on. So I'm currently turning some key groups that I made in the new gen MPCs and loading them up in the MPC 1000 and making instrument programs into these. These are part of a pack that I'm going to be selling eventually. I have these flux flute instruments. I'm just going to go ahead and load all the samples for this instrument program in. So the MPC saves everything alphabetically. Just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go out pressing the main window. I'm going to click over till I see PGM. Then I'm going to press the window button. From here I'll press new. And then I'll go ahead and rename my sample. This is going to be, or excuse me, rename my instrument program. It's going to be called Flux Flute. Hit enter. Now I want to select instrument, not drum. Then I'll press mode, program, and this is where I'll start inserting my samples. Okay, so earlier I mentioned that the MPC 1000 saves your samples alphabetically. So if I start to bring these in, first one's going to bring in is an A3, but I do not want to put these in order that it's giving them to me. I want to consider the keyboard. So hopefully if you sampled your notes in by yourself, you've labeled them by what the pitch is and by a number which determines like where it is on the keyboard. So the higher the number, the higher up on the keyboard, the lower number, the lower on the keyboard. So, and I'm starting from the point of C. So I want to go down to my furthest or my smallest C. So I have C3, 4, and 5. So C3 is going to be my starting point. So that's lowest on the keyboard. So I'm going to start there and then move up. I've sampled everything in pitches of C, F, and then A. So I'll just move up to A, the F3, excuse me. And then from there, I'll go to A3. So I kind of bouncing back and forth because this is alphabetical, but I'm not loading them in or placing them alphabetically. So I just do 3 notes per octave. This is how I chose to do this. I think it provides enough to be able to pitch in between and fill in the gaps with these samples. Then I'll go to C4. It's going to be my next one. And then we're going F4. And then we go back this way to A4. And then again, starts over. Go to C5, F5. And then I don't think I have an A5. No, so it ends there. Okay, from here, now that I have my samples in, what I'm going to do is move over to where it says original, which is like, it determines the pitch of the actual sample, the original sample. So C3, it's already set. They're all by default C3, so I don't have to change that. Going down to F3, and I want to make this F3. I want to make this A3, and you just label it as it corresponds to the sample. And just keep going. Just got a few more samples here. And that's it. So now that I've got all the original pitches, just double checking that they correspond to the sample names, I'm going to move over here to my low and high. So this determines the range that that sample will be placed on the keyboard. So in order to make things kind of more organized and easy, I like to just make these the same as my original note, the same as the label on the sample, just to begin with, and then I'll go in and start bringing them in so they fill in the gap between the notes. So I'm just going to make this C3 and the high and the low C3. And then F3. F3, and then just keep going, and I'll skip through this so you don't have to watch this, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so skipping through, now you see I have everything matched up from my low to high note, the sample name and the original pitch of the sample. They're all just identical, and I just do this simply to make it easier for me to start filling in those gaps. So you definitely don't have to do this, but it just helps me. So from here, I'll maybe pull C3 back so I have a little bit more. I'll just go, let's go a whole octave back, so the C2, and then upwards. My next note is going to be F3, so I'm going to go to like D sharp 3. So I can go to the F and pull it back to E. I don't want to overlap. See, that's D sharp 3. It's overlapping. I'm going to leave it at E3, so it's D sharp 3, then E3, then F. Then I'll go up a couple more to G, and then over here, A3, I'll go back, G sharp 3, filling in the gaps. So go up A3 to B, and then C4, because I'll just leave it there. Go up, we'll do the same thing, D sharp, and this will go back to E. We don't want to overlap, so E. Then we'll go up to, go to G, back G sharp, and just keep doing this, and I'll skip over this one last time, just so you don't have to watch the tediousness of it. All right, so I've filled in the gaps pretty much, and then my last sample, I'll just go ahead and extend it another octave. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Just go out to main, mode, save, and then I'm gonna save the program into the same folder with all the samples. And then it'll say replace same samples, no, or say replace change samples. So they have changed because the original pitch number that we've adjusted to match the sample names is embedded in the audio, I believe, in that file, in the WAV file. So I'll just hit do it, and it will automatically change, overwrite those samples to add in that information. And after that, we should be done, and we'll be able to load up a program as an instrument program for the MPC 1000 that's playable on the pads, and then also playable with the MIDI controller. And that's one of the benefits of instrument programs, is it'll give you the whole extended range of a keyboard, versus if you were to program your samples and pitch them on a drum program, you'd only get up to 64 samples rather than like a full range of 88, because you have 16 pads. Okay, that is the video. Thank you for joining me. If you found some value in it, please give it a thumbs up. That's the best way you can support the channel. It's absolutely free. Costs you nothing. If you do want to support monetarily, there are links in the description, affiliate links. I got a gear wish list. It's like all the gear that I use over on ZZOUNDS, so click on that. You can see what I own, see what I use, and if you want to make a purchase for yourself, whether it's something on that list or not, just buy it. It contributes to the channel. I get a little affiliate percentage, and it costs no extra amount to you at all. So there's also links to some digital downloads, some products that I've created, a drum kit and a one-shot instrument kit that is compatible for pretty much any sampler that has like an autochromatic feature. There's also key group programs for the modern gen MPCs in there. I appreciate y'all. Like I always say, success is not a destination, it's a movement. So keep on moving and keep on running with your dreams. Peace.